Good morning, friends, and welcome back to the vlog. I figured that today I would try something a little bit different and basically vlog like we're on FaceTime. I saw one of my favorite lifestyle creators do this and I just thought it would be really interesting to try. So basically, it's gonna be a very chatty vlog. I was just gonna share what it's like working while writing a dissertation. So, Musif, are you okay? What's up? Musif sounds like she's like coughing up a lung. Sometimes she eats so fast and then she chokes herself. But I took her for her walk this morning and it's a bit rainy and cold today. And so the jacket that I have does not have a hood. And so I need to actually change my sweatshirt. But I'm just putting on my shoes and heading off to the gym. I did not want to get out of bed this morning. Especially after the weekend. I find, especially on the weekend, I tend to stay up really late and then I sleep in and then it just makes it really difficult on Monday morning. But I have been trying to stay on a semi-regular sleep schedule on the weekends. But since getting back from China, that has gone out the window. And so we're gonna switch to this Lululemon hoodie. I've tried basically every athletic wear brand and nobody compares to Lulu in that, for example, I have a pair of leggings and a jacket, a Defined jacket from Lululemon, and those are the first items that I ever bought from Lululemon 10 years ago when I graduated from high school, which is wild. And so the quality does stand up, even though I don't particularly like their manufacturing practices, but everything that I have bought, I have kept. So I'm okay with that. Feels like a good investment. Normally I would carry a book with me to the gym because I'm currently reading Kingdom of Ash out of the Throne of Glass series and I really want to keep reading, but it's raining. So we're just gonna have to pass on that today and we're gonna have to listen to a podcast or something. So I'm gonna take you to the gym. It may be raining now, but we had such a lovely weekend in London and my partner and I went out for pastries on Saturday morning as we normally do and then out to dinner on Saturday night. We went to this restaurant called Coyote, which is like Peruvian, Spanish, Mexican fusion kind of deal, and it was really nice. Got to sit outside in the sunshine. And now the sunshine has left, which is just very, very London, very England. And now it is raining. And I also seemingly have forgotten my water bottle, which is probably not a good idea. I'm gonna hope that the coffee shop that's in the gym just so happens to be open so I can get a water bottle. But maybe I'll survive. It's a hatha yoga class, so it's not crazy intense. But the one instructor that I go to on Monday mornings kind of scares me. If anybody watched Suits, this man looks so much like Lewis that it's actually distracting. The class is really intense, but it's such a good stretch. It's such a good workout because I have just been so stiff and need to get limbered up again because I have some pretty horrible back pain. I've talked about it in videos before, but it's just getting worse, which is, I think, what aging is, but I'm not here for it. And so I'm trying to do everything I can to combat it. I'm really hoping the mic isn't like rubbing on things and sounding annoying because it's really windy. But we're heading to the gym. It is rainy, it is gusty, but you know what? We got out of the house. We are sticking with our routines. It's gonna be a beautiful day. always feel so awkward filming any type of footage in a yoga class. But I managed to get a few clips, and now I am heading to go convince myself that I deserve a coffee. I normally just make my matcha coffee at home, but I have like 4 hours of meetings this morning, and so I might give myself a little treat. Coffee has been acquired. I got a pistachio latte with oat milk, but I was walking out and I realized that they now opened a Gales within striking distance of where I live, and I'm kind of sad that I went to Blank Street instead because Gales is so much better. But I got my vegan banana bread, my pistachio latte, and now it is time to head home and prep for meetings. I normally would get home and take a shower before getting ready, but I like didn't break a sweat at all during that class. It was such a good stretch. It was exactly what I needed. I was just feeling really stiff. So honestly, I might just go back and get dressed and get ready for the day because I have quite a long morning of meetings ahead of me. We have this curriculum specialist that we work with in order to help develop our programming, and I am meeting with their team today because we're working on taking an existing product and improving upon it and trying to basically spread a 4-week program into a 12-week program. So today's not just an ideation session, it is also trying to implement the systems so that way I can then go do all the admin and figure out what needs to be done on the internal operations side of the business. So I'm gonna head home, get ready, and take you along for a working day. If we really were on FaceTime, then I would probably be doing my makeup while we chatted. So this vlog is turning into a get ready with me. First and foremost, the hair needs to go up to get out of the way. I have become recently obsessed with Korean skincare ever since I went to Asia and saw the wonders of Asian skincare products, but more specifically Korean and Japanese skincare products, which seems counterintuitive given that I was in China. But regardless, I become really obsessed with skincare, and so I have a 6-part routine at night, which I'll share with you this evening. And then in the morning, I just do my moisturizer and then start my makeup routine. But for some reason, I seem to have lost my SPF, and I have no idea where I put it because it's not in any of my travel bags where it should be if I had traveled with it, but it's not there, so I don't know what happened to it. And I don't have a mirror at my desk. And so what I do is I have a bottle of some kind of cup, and then I put my makeup palette on top. And I'm trying to decide which foundation to use today. I am a foundation hoarder. So I have the Summer Friday Skin Tint. I've got 2 different Sulwhasoo foundations, and those are Chef's Kiss beautiful. However, I don't like wasting them because they do cost quite a bit of money. So I think we're just gonna go with the Skin Tint today. Keep it simple. If I were going out into town, or if I were filming like a sit down video today, then I would probably wear something with a little bit more coverage, but this will do. It basically has no coverage on my skin, but it's just enough to make it look a little bit more even, which is what we're looking for. So since coming back from China, I have been really focusing on trying to get a routine established because I feel like about a month before I left to go to the United States, I had been focusing on my chapter submission, and so basically all my routines went out the window. And then I came back and I had about a week before I went to China. And then I have been back and I'm trying to establish a system that is actually sustainable, because if you've watched my videos for any period of time, then you know that I can just so easily slip into the mode of just working nonstop and then burning myself to a crisp. And so we're trying not to do that. We're trying to figure out how to establish some routines that are a little bit more sustainable. And so part of that is having to go to bed so early in order to get a good night of sleep. So I get in bed now at like 8:30, 9, but I usually stay up until about 10 reading my book. And as I said, I'm currently finishing the Throne of Glass series, and oh my goodness, I just want to do nothing else but read. I also have a new obsession. Emmy reads, so manages creators, but she also started this book talk and booktube channel, and this girl reads so fast. She reads like 30 plus books a month. It's wild. I am incredibly envious of the speed at which she reads, but I'm loving her recommendations because she reads very similar things to what I enjoy in the fantasy genre. And I just really look forward to her book reviews. And I swear to God, she finished all of the SJM books in like a week. Wild. This is gonna take me all of this week to finish, and that's with me being pretty diligent about reading at minimum an hour a day. The idea is to hopefully get about 100 pages read a day, and then I want to do some more book review and book talk type content. I deleted TikTok off of my phone for like 3 months, and I just didn't know what I was supposed to be posting on there and wasn't feeling particularly connected to the content. And now I'm thinking that I'll give it another try, and this time I'll try to make more book related content and then have Instagram be, you know, my lifestyle content, and then YouTube is basically everything. So I do want to make more book related videos, and they don't get as many views on my channel as when I post dissertation diary stuff. But the thing about being a content creator and having made content for like 5 years now is that I realize that at the end of the day, the views don't really matter. I mean, they matter in terms of money. They matter in terms of, you know, getting brand partnerships and that kind of thing. But the thing is that if you want to be on social media for a long period of time, and you want to do anything for a long period of time, you have to do it in a way that's actually enjoyable for you. And I have found that the only way that I can make being a YouTuber and content creator enjoyable for me is if I get to post whatever I feel like. And my general formula once upon a time was one for me, one for new viewers. And now it's probably more like a 4-to-1 ratio. So like 4 videos are more so just what I like. And most of the time that's vlogs. And then the rest of the time, I'll usually try to post like 1 video that I think is going to get a little bit of higher reach and is going to be valuable. But I personally really like watching vlogs. And I used to do really value-led content, a lot of how-to content in like 2022. And I felt so burnt out, and I just wasn't really enjoying the process. And so I just kind of do what feels good. And that's why I didn't want to be reliant on social media as a career. I like having it as a side income. I also don't like the idea that if I were to become a full-time content creator, that people feel like they have the right to know a lot of details about your personal life. They feel like they have the right to comment on things about your personal life and your body and the things that you do and the decisions that you make. And I particularly don't like that. But the reason that I have such an aversion to it, especially when I see content creators, for example, need to act as commercial entities, so acting as ambassadors for brands and things like that, people comment on it and they say, oh, like this feels really inauthentic, or this feels like you sold out. But we don't say that about Amazon. We don't say that about Apple. I mean, Apple as a company, for example, It's everywhere. There's advertisements everywhere, and you see people holding it everywhere. And we don't ever comment about how, for example, those large corporations are oversaturated or becoming inauthentic, but yet we say that about the individual. And I understand that that's because, you know, we feel connected to the creator and there's the parasocial relationship, but I just think it's interesting to think about. I don't really have any like critical commentary other than I don't really mind when I see creators become full-time creators and then need to kind of switch into business mode. And I know that that bothers a lot of people. We often think about it as it's this creative expression. Just like with artists, content creators do a lot of unpaid labor. And most of us are just fine with that. I'm fine with that because I love the content and I would still be making YouTube videos even if it didn't actually provide an income. I'd probably provide a little less of it, but nonetheless, I love making content, and so I would probably just still do it regardless. I don't know. It's just interesting how we have these creative endeavors that are monetized and highly criticized. But these are just some of my thoughts. It's something that I think about a lot, about content creation, the concept of influencing, why it is that we hold content creators to a standard of personability that we don't hold other companies to, and we don't want to see creators as businesses, and that's fine. I understand why. I just think about it a lot. And when I decided a couple months ago that I never want to become a full-time content creator, it's something that I did think about. And one of the reasons is that I want to be able to post what I want and be able to share what I want when I want. And for example, make videos like this and not have a sponsor and just have fun with it because I just want to try something different. So that's Kaelyn's TED Talk, now complete. My ramblings, my thoughts as I put my makeup on, which is exactly what you would get if we were on FaceTime. I would just be ranting about whatever is on my mind. And the creator economy is something that is almost always on my mind. So I need to go ahead and make up my plan for today, jump into my meeting, and I will try to get some B-roll, and I will take you along and you get to see a little bit of what I do every day now. Yeah, so basically the primary goal of last week's meeting was to lay the groundwork for us to figure out what the 12-week program would look like. So taking the 4-week program and trying to figure out how it is that we can structure it. Work is going really well so far. We're just trying to figure out what the overall structure is for the next launch. And I am on a little 5-minute break because we have like a 3-hour or 4-hour ideation session today. But I'm really excited and I just really like the team and what we're working on. And it just feels like such a great role for me where I get to incorporate all of my interests. I get to incorporate content and community and digital media and marketing, but also research. So a lot of what I try to do is think about what is current in the productivity space and what productivity science is showing. And so doing a little bit of digging into studies that are currently coming out about neurodiversity and other forms of productivity methods, as well as looking at the current nonfiction research and how it is that they talk about, you know, how best to serve a digital community and things of that nature. So it's just really cool and I really like my job. But we have a very long session today, and then this afternoon I have a ton of admin, so I just wanted to do a little check-in while we're on this break. And I try to avoid scrolling on my phone during breaks, but sometimes that's all I want to do. And right now, I'm gonna go scroll on Instagram. You guys, we hit 110,000 subscribers on YouTube. All thanks to you. I'm so excited. My little YouTube channel that I love so much. I am out of my morning meetings, but I have another one in like 5 minutes. So I'm just gonna make myself a quick smoothie because I don't have enough time to prepare any other kind of food. So I have this mix of berries, throw some strawberries in there. I got a NutriBullet again. I had one over COVID when I lived with my grandmother. I find it so much easier to use than any other kind of blender. This honey looks different.
That's because it's different honey.
Oh.
We don't normally get rouse, but they didn't have like the normal stuff that we...
That's all right. I'm just curious how it's gonna be. And so I do like a ton of berries. I do a little bit of honey for sweetness because I put a lot of protein powder and a lot of peanut butter into my smoothies. So I've got my peanut butter here, and I do a very healthy scoop because I freaking love peanut butter. And then I've been using this hemp protein powder because that means I don't have to take a lactose pill. All the lactose intolerant girlies will understand. So I do a pretty hefty scoop of this. And I also throw chia seeds in there. I don't know if it really does anything, but you know, they say it has fiber and protein or whatever. So I throw it in there. And then a generous helping of oat milk. Now, go ahead and give it a blend. Okay, I'm gonna assume that that's good. And then for ease of use, I just drink it out of this. All right, back to work. Officially done with work for the day, and that means that I need to switch gears and work on my dissertation. I have joined the Accepted Society writing group. We run the writing group sessions on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and currently, because I'm working, we have the team helping facilitate the sessions, and Kate is currently leading. And I only have about 45 minutes because I have another call for work that I need to facilitate, but I'm going to go ahead and focus on the dissertation for just 45 minutes, just get a good little writing sprint in. The objective for today is to get a little bit of a brain dump about everything that I know about Blackness, gender, and child labor in the early modern period. So there is a lot to get through in terms of what it is that I know already, but there is still so much more that I want to know. Normally, I would procrastinate by going and doing a bunch of reading before I start writing, but that is not helping me. And I met Deborah Harkness last week during a book signing, and I asked her what her writing routine was and what her recommendation is for research. And she said, no matter what, you need to sit down and write about 500 words. And they can be terrible, but so long as you get in about 2 pages of text or around 500 words, then call it done for the day. And so I'm going to listen to my idol, and I'm going to write 500 words, even if they are shitty. So that is my plan. And now we're going to go ahead and see what we can make of it. Working day. I have had dinner with my partner and have taken my shower, so I don't have any makeup on anymore. But I was going to show you my new skincare routine because it's become my latest obsession, and I don't know if it's going to potentially break my skin out like crazy or if it's actually going to improve upon things. Why does it look like I have no eyelashes? We're just going to ignore that and the fact that this looks very strange, but put the hair up. I wish I had one of those cute headbands that the skincare girlies wear on TikTok, but I do not. We're just going with a hairband. It's about as good as it's gonna get. Okay, so first and foremost, I have this oil cleanser. So this is the Anua Pore Control Cleansing Oil. So I start with my oil, and from what I understand, this is meant to help cleanse your pores. And I have very large pores, especially around my nose, and it makes my skin feel like sandpaper. I have combination skin, so I get really oily in the T-zone on my face. But I also have these pores that get very clogged and my skin gets very dry. So we do this, and then we go ahead and rinse. I can somehow not figure out how to do my skincare routine without getting water all over the bathroom. So I just take a little bit of water and start massaging it. Part of the reason I get water all over the floor is because I'm currently sitting up rather than having my face into the sink. Then it is time for my deep cleansing foam. So this is the Anua Heartleaf Pore Deep Cleansing Foam. Again, this is just from very minimal research on skincare talk. So I don't actually know if this is going to be a huge difference, but here's the hoping, because I am sick of my skin being dry while also being crazy oily and having super clogged pores. So this is trying to take better care of my skin in my late 20s based on skincare recommendations I found online. So I'm just taking you along for the journey with me. Normally, this is the side of my life that I do not share in my vlogs, not for any particular reason, but just because, one, I look insane, and I personally love editing some aesthetic vlogs, but I have really been enjoying the vlogs where people are just chatting casually. And so here you have it, an unfiltered, just chatty vlog. I had such a good day at work today. However, we had so many meetings and it meant that I didn't really feel like I got very much done, but I have a list of things that do need to get done, especially for the upcoming launch of the next live cohort for Productivity Lab. We're also in the process of hiring, so I was looking at all of these applications for potential productivity coaches, and it's a very exciting time, but it is a fair bit of work. And I also made some serious progress on my dissertation, which is nice. However, I can't get past the feeling like I just haven't spent enough time with the documents, but I feel like that's like a constant feeling that you just don't have enough knowledge to say anything. And so I'm trying to fight that by just writing anyway. I just put on the Centella Ampule toner type thing. I will have everything linked down below. I'm not saying that you should try it. This is just me experimenting. If you want to experiment with me, do your own research, because I don't know if this is right for your skin. I don't even know if it's right for my skin. But you know what? I just felt like spending my money on an experiment. So here we are, obsessing over our skincare routine at the age of 28. It might be a placebo effect, but I'm really enjoying the process at least. And I do think that my skin feels more well-nourished and moisturized. But today was a very good day. And I I'm going to get a nice bit of reading done before I head to bed, which is always the perfect end of the day because I want nothing more than to read my novel right now. I want to do nothing but read my novel. And now, okay, here's where things are about to get zany. So I bought this thing, and this thing looks mildly inappropriate, but it's a skincare tool. And basically, it's this Korean skincare brand, and you're supposed to use this in order to help the product submerge into your skin. Again, I might have just spent a bunch of money on something that doesn't work, but you know what? We're gonna try it anyway.
Booster mode, level 3.
I mean, it feels like it does stuff. Like, it definitely makes my face tingle, which is a weird sensation, but it feels really nice. Except for some reason, every time I put it like right here on my forehead, it feels, oh, so weird. I don't particularly like it, so I kind of avoid that section of my face. But if you see, it actually makes my like eye twitch, which is wild. Again, I'm not saying that you should use this. I'm not saying that you should buy this. I just spent my own money on it, and I'm hoping that it does something. But I will say, my skin does feel soft as a baby's bottom by the time I am done doing my skincare routine. And I do wake up and it feels more nourished, so I don't know. Again, this might be a placebo. All right, that's my little booster routine. And last but not least, we put on a little bit of moisturizer, the same moisturizer I've been using for 3 years now. And did I need to change my skincare routine from my tried and true cleanser and moisturizer? Probably not. It was probably working just fine. But you know what? I wanted to experiment. If you can, why not? Okay, my skin is now very red, but look at how just dewy and fantastic that looks. I still don't look like I have eyelashes for some reason. I look like a mole rat, but that's okay. Because we don't need to look like anything. We just need to feel comfortable. And now it's time to get in bed. The rather disorienting thing about living in England in the summer is that it is almost 9 o'clock and it is bright sunshine outside. The sun is nowhere near being ready to set, which is wonderful. Except it is really disorienting when your bedtime needs to be around 9 o'clock. But I have Kingdom of Ash about 100 pages in out of this nearly 1,000-page tome. So we have a lot of reading to do tonight. And I'm gonna go ahead and actually end the vlog here because I feel like this was very chatty. And while I didn't go and do very much, I hope that you enjoyed the journey. So I have a question for you all. I need you to let me know, first and foremost, if you made it to the end of this vlog, I want you to use the frog emoji. Yeah, use the frog emoji if you made it to the end of this vlog. And comment whether you prefer aesthetic vlogs with like voiceovers and pretty b-roll, or if you prefer this unhinged FaceTime with a friend type vlog. I can do a little bit of both, but I'm very curious what everybody enjoys because this is very different from my other content. It was really nice. I felt like I got to hang out and chat with you, which was really fun. So I hope that you enjoyed it. I'm gonna tuck in. I'm gonna read my book now. I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I will see you all in the next one, friends. Thank you so much, and if you are yet to subscribe to my channel, hit that subscribe button, join the fam, join our little online party, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, friends!